Welcome to AI Explains.
Today we're tackling a fascinating story.
We are. It's about how scientists catch a virus that's basically learning to run faster.
A lot faster. We're doing a deep dive into the B1.1.7 lineage of SARS-CoV-2. You probably know it as the UK variant.
Right. And we're looking at the research from Imperial College London and Public Health England. The mission today is to figure out how a tiny genetic change gave this virus a sort of superpower to spread.
And, the almost accidental clue that helped scientists track it down.
Okay, so let's start there. The accidental clue. It's tied to the PCR tests everyone was taking, right?
Exactly. So a normal PCR test, well, this specific one, was designed to look for 3 parts of the virus to confirm a positive case. Think of it like a 3-point checklist.
And if all 3 are there, you're positive.
Mm-hmm. But something weird started happening. This new variant, it had a tiny piece of its genetic code missing. A deletion.
A deletion at positions 69 and 70 on the spike protein, to be specific.
Yeah, and because that little piece was gone, one part of the test, the part looking for the S gene, it failed. It couldn't find what it was looking for.
So you'd get a pass on the other 2 parts of the checklist, but a fail on the S gene.
Right. And at first, that might seem like a problem, a faulty test, but it wasn't. It became this incredible tracking device.
A tracking device. How so?
Well, scientists realized that these tests that were failing on the S gene, they were almost all this new variant. The data showed it was, over a 97% match?
So this failure, this S gene target failure, or SGTF, it was like the virus was suddenly wearing a bright red hat.
Exactly, a bright red hat. It made it so easy to spot in a huge crowd without needing to do slow, expensive genetic sequencing for every single case.
And once they could see all the red hats, they noticed something pretty alarming.
They did. They saw that the number of people with the red hat virus was just exploding, while the old version of the virus was staying pretty stable.
This gets to the R number, right? Can you explain that just really simply?
Sure. The R number is basically how many friends one sick person gets sick. If R is 2, one person infects 2 others. If it's below 1, the outbreak fizzles out.
And the data here showed the new variant jacked up the R number by about 0.4 to 0.7.
Which sounds small, but it's not. That's a 50% to 75% increase in how fast it spreads. In a race, the new variant was just lapping the old one.
And this is where it gets really crazy. The lockdown test. In November 2020, England went into a full national lockdown.
Mm-hmm. And it worked. For the old virus, you can see it in the charts, the cases of the original virus went down just like they were supposed to.
But the new variant, the one with the red hat,
it just kept going up right through the lockdown. The same rules that were stopping the old virus barely slowed this new one down.
That's the proof right there.
Yeah.
It proves it was just fundamentally better at spreading.
It really was. It was a whole different ballgame.
The data also showed something else interesting about who was getting sick.
Yeah, there was a shift. The new variant was found a lot more often in people under 20 compared to the old virus.
Why was that? Were kids more vulnerable to it?
The experts in the paper weren't totally sure. It could be that kids were more susceptible, or it could just be that schools were one of the few places still open during that lockdown, so it just spread there more easily.
Either way, the pattern was clear. The virus was behaving differently.
Absolutely. The main takeaway for me is that the virus basically evolved to become sickier, faster. It outran the very measures that worked just weeks before.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought, doesn't it? If a virus can evolve to just ignore a lockdown that worked on its parent,
yeah.
does that mean our rules for safety, our whole strategy, has to evolve just as fast as the virus does?
That's the billion-dollar question. It seems we were fighting a new war with old maps.
A sobering thought to end on. Thanks for joining this deep dive.